Well, West London VR Series 3 has turned out to be an absolute thriller. We have had 12 races over nearly 6 months, and yet at the end it is as tight as 1 point between Nick Greenhalgh and Ned Bowen. Just 1 point with 1 race to go on the Hillingdon circuit. We look at what's coming up. This is going to be a thriller. Now, the story of the head-to-head battles between these two great riders is on the screen there. You may want to pause it to take in the numbers yourself, and you may need to zoom it depending on what sort of device you're looking at. But essentially, Ned Bowen was comfortably 20 odd points ahead and looked like he was sailing towards keeping his title from Series 2, and then we had a time trial. So if you look at race 3.9 on there, the time trial, you'll see that Ned's 28-point advantage dropped to just 11 points by virtue of the fact that Nick did really, really well in the time trial. Ned struggled a little bit. But more significantly, this is close, and we've decided on a tie-break method, which will be overall time. And look at that, they were almost neck and neck on overall time before that, and Nick clawed out 1 minute 48 advantage. So if they do tie after race 13, Nick is in the driving seat, and if you look further down you'll see that that's now over 3 minutes overall. The gap grew a little bit more in race 3.11. Ned had a mechanical, was unfortunate, lost places and lost time. Made up some more points though in race 3.12 and dragged himself within 1 point of Nick. So it all rests on this race at Hillingdon Circuit. So we're at Hillingdon Circuit where race 3.13 and the whole of Series 3 of West London VR is going to be decided. And here is the man leading the classification at the moment, Nick Greenhalgh. And the finishing line is just there. You can see the little path going out from the fence. That is where the finishing line will be, and that's where Series 3 will be decided.
I am looking forward to it. It's going to be very hard to beat Ned because he's got an awesome sprint finish. But I've got some tactics, and I'm going to try and get that 1 point.
Yeah, I'd say I have a pretty good handle on those, or at least up until they changed all the physics a little bit. So things are different now. And previously, I guess it was all the experience in Zwift, really. Like when do you need to start your sprint to get the most little virtual speed, get your avatar moving as quickly as possible? Yeah, I'm definitely not the fastest, because I'm a little bit lighter, I think, than some of the other guys who are really good on those flat time trials. So you don't have enough power, just like in the real world.
Now, you live locally to this circuit. Do you think that will be an advantage?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I've done that time trial in real life. Yeah, I've done pretty well on it. So, and I know the corners.
Yeah.
I just need to get the software to let me move left and right a bit.
This is so different riding outdoors versus riding inside. Plus, I can go ride the circuit whenever I want indoors as well. Though the last time we did the Hillingdon circuit, there was a move by Jan who went off the front long before I would have expected anyone could, and he held it all the way to the line. So there's times when you can upset the apple cart, I guess, by going early or going late. There's just a question of what do other people also do. I think does everyone get there in the tight bunch? And that's when you can really figure out your timing.
I do think it'll be a bunch sprint, definitely.
Okay.
Almost, yeah, no doubt about it. The incline's what, 3% max, I think?
Yeah.
Not very long, so it's going to be a bunch sprint, yeah.
Oh no, I don't think I can get rid of Nick. At least the way he's been riding for the last number of races, he's been quite strong in sort of every single race. It's really impressive to see.
I think there's the one ramp just sort of actually from behind you. If you go up the first hill and down round Omega Bend, there's a ramp just there.
Yeah.
And I think that will be the place where people attack. And we have used this course before, and that's where the attacks have taken place. Where do you think the attacks will take place?
Definitely on that corner, yeah. And there's a nice downhill after that, so if people can keep the pressure on going up the hill and keep it on going down, it could be interesting.
I think I have a good shot. I seem to do pretty well in the sprints, as long as it's a tight group. But yeah, you never quite know going into the finish, and Nick has been riding really well, so.
I'm going to try really hard. But basically I tried too hard in the last race and didn't have any power to increase at the end. So I'm going to try and draft more to try and have that final kick.
I think that Razio, whole team, I guess, can team up. No, the only tactic is sit until the end and then go for the sprint. Follow Nick.
There's only one point in this series. Now, I would never have expected this. Over 1,000 points. I think it's 1,112 versus 1,111 after 12 races. You couldn't have scripted this better. There is the possibility that if you are neck and neck and marking each other through the race, we have a tie. And I think you've both agreed that if there is a tie, the decider will be overall time over the series.
Yeah, so that really suits me if it is even on the finish, which I think will be quite doubtful. But if it is, I was lucky enough to put in a good time trial, so I think I've got a good margin there.
I would need it's probably 2 minutes because I was at least a minute behind in the time trial, and then that race 11 where I was off the back, that was another minute. And I don't think Nick has been behind at any point in the season.
And Ned was very unlucky in not the last race, but the one before that, where he had some sort of glitch just before the finish. So it has sort of played into your hands rather sweetly with the time trial and that glitch coming near the end of the series.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you feel earlier on in the series that you were in with a chance?
Very early on, yes, when I won fourth one or something. I don't think Ned had won one. I don't think he won one back then. But it was short-lived.
Okay.
Because I think my one after that, I was 0.6 of a second down and lost 20 odd places.
Yes.
So I was quickly down.
I kind of didn't expect that I'd make every single race this time, so I wasn't expecting it. But then when you are first, you have to make an effort.
I'm really looking forward to it. Really want to beat Ned.
I'm sure he'll say the same.
Exactly. But he's a great racer and good character, and it's always good friendly banter afterwards.
One of the things I've really enjoyed about RGT is the friendly banter, both on the screen particularly before the races, then at the end, and then after that on Strava, everybody's on there congratulating each other. And I think it's a marvellous community.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely, everyone really enjoys those virtual races. So, and you can see it afterwards every single time. But that's what all that positive messaging shows you, I think.
Nick, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Cheers.
All right.
Well, this is the only virtual racing trophy I've gotten, and I've won a lot of indoor races. There's only one person giving out trophies. I'm impressed by Mike both speaking and riding at the same time when he's talking about what other people are doing.
So if you wondered about some of the references to the Hillingdon circuit, here's a little plan of it. Out to Hayes. So you can see the clubhouse is where we'll start. Then we go up out to Hayes, which is a steady but not very steep climb. Then it drops down into Omega Bend and there's a sharp descent and then the ramp. And the ramp, as you can see in the top right hand corner of the map, is where we think the attacks will take place, and the bus pass is the descent that Nick referred to before, the long straight round the bend and back to the finish. 11 times, it's going to be an absolute thriller. Make sure you're there or watch it on ZMS. And if you're wondering about the reference to Mike talking while he's riding, well, Mike will probably be commentating the race, and he's an absolute gem along with Riley Harvey. Don't miss out, be there.